Recently declassified files from the Epstein case have revealed several unexpected and striking references to Iran, raising fresh questions about the depth and scope of his international associations. According to the reports, Epstein is alleged to have personally met with none other than a former Iranian president, a detail that adds a surprising geopolitical layer to an already complex network of connections. Beyond their shocking claims about meetings, the documents go on to suggest disturbing links to arms trading and even property connections directly associated with Tehran's elite circles. A well-known American biologist is also mentioned within these files, referencing a meeting that allegedly took place between Jeffrey Epstein and former Iranian leader Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. Interestingly, this isn't an isolated mention. References to Iran appear in multiple parts of the Epstein files, suggesting a broader and continuing point of contact between the two. One letter claims that Epstein and Ahmadinejad's alleged encounter took place in New York, supposedly just after United Nations General Assembly session, where several world leaders had gathered. During that period, the former Iranian president had made several fiery speeches, marked by intense and controversial rhetoric targeting Israel and Western policies in the Middle East. In his communication, biologist Robert Trivers characterizes Epstein using the phrase polymorphously perverse, painting a vivid picture of his erratic and morally unpredictable personality. Trivers also remarked that Epstein possessed a unique ability to sustain relationships with people holding starkly opposing ideologies, moving effortlessly between conflicting political and moral worlds. Interestingly, the biologist uses Fidel Castro as a metaphorical example in the letter, drawing parallels to highlight Epstein's capacity for interacting with leaders across radically different spectrums. In his description, Castro stands as the emblem of revolutionary socialism, while Ahmadinejad is portrayed as the embodiment of radical Islamism, two extremes Epstein allegedly navigated between. Following the release of these documents, Ahmadinejad's former media advisor publicly addressed the claims on February 1st, responding directly to the growing international speculation. Ali Akbar Javanfekr, the advisor in question, firmly and unequivocally denied the allegations leveled against Iran's former president, labeling them baseless and politically motivated. The ex-Iranian president's former media advisor said, quote, "The allegation raised in the media about a meeting between someone named Epstein and Dr. Ahmadinejad is completely false, and such a meeting never took place," unquote. The United States Department of Justice has released nearly 3 million pages of investigative material connected to the Epstein case, shedding light on years of evidence that had remained sealed from the public eye. Among the files are over 180,000 images and more than 2,000 videos, showcasing the sheer scale and depth of the material compiled by investigators over time. All of these documents were made public under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, a groundbreaking law passed in 2025 to ensure that every relevant record would be accessible for public scrutiny and accountability. The released files were gathered from 5 primary sources, including the high-profile legal cases filed against Epstein in both Florida and New York, as well as several related federal investigations. Within these records, investigators identified numerous connections, social and professional, tying Epstein to an extensive list of wealthy, influential, and politically powerful men from various sectors. The files explicitly mention names such as Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Steve Bannon, and several others, painting a complex picture of the elite network surrounding Epstein's world.
On the Epstein files, you talked about Democrats who were in there. Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and correspondence that he had with him. Did you read those new files that were published by the Department of Justice?
I didn't. I have a lot of things I'm doing, a lot of things I'm doing. I don't know. You mentioned 2 names. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent?
With the fact that they thought they released too much. I heard that. and you tell me something else. No. I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else. Really. Now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally, by Epstein and other people. But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
What would you say to people
like
who feel like they haven't gotten
healthcare
justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel like they haven't gotten
You are the
justice?
worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. She's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile in your face. You know why? You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth, and you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.